Alright, so I just wanted to do this, really the only time I can do this while I drive. So I got 3 alternators. See how I'm pushing 15.6 volts here. That right there basically bypassed it. Now it takes a little bit for it to go down because of the fact I have a bunch of capacitors and stuff, and my system is off completely. And that's a long story, but you see the voltage is dropping, right? So alternator 1, basically the sense wire is basically just connected normally right now. Now I can do alternator 2. See, immediately it jumps up. Okay? So now I'm gonna drop that. It'll eventually go back up to 15.5. You can see it. There's 2 meters, and they're going off of 2 different parts. One's on the subwoofer amps, and one's on the main amp. So, and then I can do the same thing to number 3, alternator 3. Now, before you guys start leaving shit about the installation, look, this van was fucked up when I got it. I learned a lot about cars. I know a lot about electricity, just never really messed with cars. Took a while, and yeah, the 2 holes right there are for me from having just 2 alternators having the same setup there. So now I'm at 15.5. Now I can put all 3 up, and guess what? Now all of them are pushing 15.5. The bottom 2, well, it's missing one because I kind of fucked up last night. The switch is hanging here. I broke the switch. As you can see, it's broken. But if well, yeah, it's funny because it goes up 15.7. I'm going to put them all back down to nominal voltage. Okay? Now I'm going to show you what the second one does. So, 2 diodes on the sense is going to give you the 15.5 volts. So now we have to wait. I'm going to pause the recording until it goes down to normal voltage. Alright, so that took a little bit. Now, keep in mind, it's cold outside, so the alternators are pushing 14.5, plus the van hasn't been on for a while. And then also, I have about 2,500 farads of capacitors in the back. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this switch up. So when I put this switch, when I put this alternator, or this diode on, it's just 1 diode instead of 2. So you should see the voltage go up from 14.6, and I think it'll rest about 15.1. Now keep in mind though, this is only 1 alternator I'm toggling. Other thing you should always remember with alternators or voltage, you shouldn't, if I run 1 alternator, electricity will always, a higher voltage will take over. So the other alternators are on, but there's no load on them, because literally the higher voltage, the van, everything in the van's literally going to take the higher voltage, in other words, the 15 volts that this thing's pushing right now. So when you have all 3 of them going, and that's why they say same make, same model, same exact everything for it to work, because technically you can't put generators in parallel, technically, but the way electricity works now, or the way this stuff works nowadays, everything's so manufactured the same. So yeah, 15 volts, that's struggling, and I'm trying to drive. Now if I do this, that's going to bump me back up, and I have to exit, so it's going to lower my RPMs. It's going to go a little slowly, because keep in mind, it's charging those capacitors at a higher voltage, but that'll put me back up at 15.5. Watch my other video if you want to see how I did this. I mean, it's just a simple circuit, and a small board, just solder it, 2 switches, and you're either basically giving yourself the one option with 1 diode or 2 diodes. So 15 volts or 15.5, or I've seen it go up to 15.9 when it's extremely cold, but this is Southern California. It doesn't get that cold. What else do I want to throw out at you? The nice part about this, and a lot of you that have multiple alternators, how do you know all of them are working over time? So you just kind of saw how I know, okay, I can actually check if all my alternators are having output, basically. So that's an advantage. And keep in mind, once again, electricity only pulls from the highest voltage source. So it's not really affecting the van when I drive. Anyways, I'm to my destination, so I hope this video is helpful to somebody out there. Thank you for watching.